Hello everyone. So this is probably a long time coming, but I finally decided to make a 2rex video. Yay! The reasons why I have been waiting so long is simply because I didn't know how to approach this. Because the even though 2rex is very simple, there's 2rexes. You pull a certain amount of SCVs and you micro like a boss. It's very map dependent, where the locations where you build it, and also the psychology that goes into doing a 2rex in a competitive environment as well, and also the fact that the zerg has a million types of different reactions to actually stop the 2rex. So, the recent game between Maru and Roro on merry-go-round, I think, shows a pretty good way to point out the general ideas and goals that you want to accomplish with the 2rex, and just setting yourself up to get into that chokehold position and having the bunkers hitting the natural base, and then be able to win the game from there. Because if you're able to accomplish the one main goal of getting the bunker up, like at least one bunker up that's in range of the hatchery, then you're in a good position. A really good position, actually. So, without any further ado, let's jump into the game. So, right away, one thing to notice is that Maru is opening up 12-12. His first Rex is built at 12, and his second Rex is also going to be built at 12. Now, it might seem a bit different from 11-10 or 11-11 or 11-12 or even 12-14. So we're just going to assume here that Maru is opening up 12-12 for the purpose of being this map, and that there are very specific build order timings that he wants to hit, and I'll point those out during the VOD as well. So Roro here, he did I don't need to pause it. He did a 14 hatch and a 13 pool. So he's already specifically prepared a reaction to Maru's 2rex build, and that's what makes it all the more amazing of how Maru is able to win this game, because Roro has a specific reaction against this build, and he's even gotten a 13 pool. He's not playing greedy at all, and he's going gasless as well. So he plans on... Alright, so I'm just going to pause the game and explain this, because I want this to encompass all the different reactions that the zerg can do. So the zerg has two openings. They have a speed opening, and they have a gasless opening. So if the zerg gets speed, the 2rex is going to be very effective, and the zerg player is most likely going to have to sacrifice his natural, because if he gets speed, the speed won't finish until about 5 minutes and 50 seconds to 6 minutes, and I'll bring that timing up again to point it out of when speed would have finished. You're also investing 1 drone, 25 minerals, lost mining time, and 100 minerals and 100 gas to be able to research that speed as well. So you're really banking on the fact that you're going to be able to kind of overwhelm your opponent with mass speedlings before the 6 minute or after the 6 minute mark. But if they have a bunker down in range of your hatchery, you're going to lose it. So then the most common follow-up would be a 1-base baneling bust or a roach tech, and either one can be stopped fairly easily by mass bunkering and just pretty much doing a bunker contain while expanding safely behind. So that's if Roro goes for a speed opening. He doesn't. He goes for a gasless opening, and he does 14 hatch, 13 pool, and his reaction here, with the excess minerals available to him, he's going to be getting his queens out on time. He doesn't have to cut any production from pulling the drones, or as little as possible, and he's also going to have more minerals, so he's going to be able to pull his drones off, or when he pulls his drones off to fight this, he's not going to lose as many minerals as he would pulling his drones from doing a speed opening, and he also has enough minerals and economy to build a couple spine crawlers as well. So now that I've explained the two basic openings that the zerg player can do, we take a look at Roro's build, and we see that he's optimized his build so that he specifically has the queens out, and he can make spine crawlers as fast as possible. So he's optimized his build to fight against the 2-racks, and Maru is very notorious for his 2-racks play. I'm pretty sure he's beaten Roro with it before as well. So, optimized gasless build to fight against 2-racks versus Maru's powerful 2-racks. Now let's actually get into the game here. So the first important thing to note is both the building placement of the bunker and how the SCV builds it. Notice how Maru, as soon as he scouts here, he knows Roro is here, and so he already has a place in mind. He's going to build this bunker here regardless of if there's a drone or what Roro is doing. If there's an overlord in sight, Maru already knows that he's going to build a bunker here, and then he's going to leapfrog over here. So if we take a look, he immediately places the bunker, and this times up coincidentally with the first Marine coming by as well. So even if there is a drone here, the fact that Maru placed his bunker or started his bunker literally when the Marine is right here, so the Marine's about 3 seconds away, he's able to shoo away the drone, and the bunker is able to start finishing. So that's really important here. The timing of the bunker, Maru placing the bunker, not wasting any time with the drone or with the SCV. He knew where to place the bunker, and the timing of it so that he places it right before the first Marine arrives as well. Because having the first Marine there shoos away the drone and prevents the bunker from being stopped. And we'll see here, the fact that the bunker isn't stopped at all is very, very important. But if Roro did decide to pull his drones, well, he does decide to pull his drones. I think it's a very intelligent decision here. He pulls it as soon as the zerglings come out. And normally this would suck, but if we take a look here, like since Maru's bunker has not been delayed a single second, he has his bunker done now at 4 minutes and 13 seconds, as soon as the zerglings pop up. So Maru simply has to stutter step back, and he can retreat into the safety of his natural bunker. And now having this bunker up is the first key, or the first step to taking down the zerg hatchery. And now the second step is to get this bunker up. Now the zerg can't really attack this bunker anymore because there's 3 Marines here. They 2-shot zerglings, they 2-shot drones, so another bunker is going up because there are multiple spine crawlers, and the third bunker because Maru knows that a couple spine crawlers, zerglings, drones, and queen pressure can take down a bunker, and he doesn't have a lot of SCVs as well. He's pulled a total of... he only pulled 3 SCVs, actually. Actually, he only pulled 2 SCVs. The other 2 were from his 2 barracks' building. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they were. So, right here, he has this bunker done as well, which is fantastic for him, and now he's in a dominating position. And there's not really much Roro can do. Unfortunately, he made the spine crawlers in a bad position, but that's not even that bad. And notice how Maru's bunker is strategically placed so that as long as the SCV is on this corner, on the right side of the bunker, it's not going to be sniped by the spine crawler. And now, if you get into this kind of a position as a Terran player, all you have to do is take down the hatchery and double expand behind this. That's all you need to do, and you'll be safe. Or you'll pretty much win the game from there, because the Zerg will be so far behind. Always going double command center first after your 2-racks. I'm pretty sure Artosis used to talk about that. Or Artosis used to say stuff about, make jokes about double command center after the 2-racks is like the build to do. Way back in Wings of Liberty, when the bunker time was decreased and the barracks time was decreased as well. Made 2-racks extremely difficult to beat, and it was actually standard. It is a staple in every person's gameplay. And now we see at this point of the game, all Maru has to do is double expand and contain Roro for as long as possible, and to deny that natural expansion from going down. So at this point, I'm not going to finish the VOD because Maru has accomplished taking down the hatchery, and from here he's in a significant lead, and all he has to do is double expand, play fairly straightforward, and he will have a gigantic economic advantage. What I do want to do is take note of a couple timings here. So if Roro had gone for a gas first build, like hatch gas pool, speed would have finished at 5 minutes and 53 seconds. This is the time when the hatch rate is basically dead. So as you can see here, if the Zerg player, like the reason why Maru also didn't need to scout for the gas timing is because he knows that this build will pretty much auto defeat a gas first build, because speed's going to be out now, but Maru's going to have all these bunkers up. He's going to have a bunch of marines, and even if Roro tries to run past, he's going to lose too many Zerglings to really do anything, and speedlings aren't going to be able to take down these bunkers alone. And now, just going back a little bit more, I just want to talk about the different reactions that the Zerg player can do. So right now, right now, when Roro has seen the bunker going down, he's put into a very precarious position here. Because from the Zerg standpoint, if we take a look at things, he pulled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drones, and he's making 2 crawlers. So these drones have basically been pulled to kind of flank with the Zerglings. That's Roro's reaction. If the Zerg player had made a pull at, let's say, 15 or 16, I'm sure he would have pulled even more drones. He probably would have pulled closer to 10 of them. He wouldn't have started the spine crawlers immediately, and he would have tried to take down this bunker or this bunker. Most likely try to force a cancel on this bunker and then take down this bunker, because this bunker is strategically placed so that if the Zerg player does pull his drones all the way over here, it's going to be far enough away so that Maru has ample time to both queue the SCV back up to the mineral line, and to send the marine kind of like stutter step down this ramp. And this bunker also gives important high ground vision to the marine, so if the drones were to come over here, the marine could kite back down here and then also go into this area as well and wait for the other 2 marines to be rallied, which they are very close, so just stutter step back to the marines. And then the drones, they're in a crappy position, because then Roro's economy he's not going to be able to afford these 2 spine crawlers. Or if the Zerg player had gotten anything besides a 13 pool, he wouldn't have been able to afford these spine crawlers, and Maru would have had a much easier time he wouldn't have needed all 3 bunkers to take down the hatchery. He probably would have only needed 2 or even 1 at the very most. Notice how Maru also did not pull a lot of SCVs as well. He only pulled 2, so I guess he has a total of 4, but the goal of these SCVs is to build bunkers, not to tank any damage or anything like that. So by keeping these SCVs alive for as long as possible and building the bunkers, Maru that's basically their entire job. That's, I guess, my point. And if we just take a look at the build order too, Maru is building a second depot. So this is by no means a very cheesy opening. He opened up 12-12, so he hasn't really cut much. And he's only pulling 2 SCVs, so this is by no means an all-in by Maru. It's a very, very aggressive build, though. So, as we can see here, he starts the bunker at 19 out of 19 supply, then he starts a second bunker, and at the same time, he's also constantly making SCVs as well. He didn't cut any SCVs to make the bunkers, and he's also not rushing to make the other 2 bunkers as well, simply because he doesn't have enough money, and even if he did, he would have to cut the SCVs, and that wouldn't be very good for him. Basically, he just wants the bunker to be in range, so he has a leapfrog system going on here. The bunker is in range of the hatchery barely, and then this bunker barely ranges to protect this bunker from Zerglings and drone surrounds. So at this point of the game, Roro can't really. He basically needs to build a bunch of spine crawlers and try to force down the bunkers before the hatchery dies. But even if he does that, Maru can still get an easy snipe on the hatchery, and then Roro's left with a bunch of spine crawlers, a bunch of Zerglings that would have been sacked to kill the bunkers. And so that's why if you can get the bunkers up, then you can pretty much win the game or deal really, really severe damage to the other player. So now that Maru has these 3 marines, And like when you have the 3 Marines, you don't want to do a lot of damage with 1 Marine and whatever many SCVs you pull. But when you have 3 Marines, that's the magic number when you can start kiting units and actually doing damage. So never attack until you get the 3 units. And we see here, this bunker, it finishes at a Gosu timing right there. So even if the Zerglings, they come out as fast as possible from a 13 pool, but Maru's able to keep these Marines alive because they can retreat into the bunker. Roro sees that, and now he's forced into a really terrible position. And this bunker ends up finishing as well. And if Roro even canceled this bunker, then he would have taken a significant amount of damage as well. And as we can see here, the Spine Crawler barely is out of range of the SCV. It's just expert building placement by Maru. And now he has 3 bunkers down. He has a bunch of Marines in it. That Spine Crawler even dies. He has 3 SCVs repairing. That's more than enough to keep 1 Spine Crawler from dealing significant damage to the bunker. And now the game is pretty much over. So, to kind of recap that, I know that this is kind of a long video from just like 5 minutes of game time, but I really wanted to provide a in-depth explanation of all the different reactions that the Zerg player could have done, as well as why Maru did a specific build order, and explain his bunker placement and the timings of when his bunkers went down. So pretty much the main goal of the 2 racks is to set up bunkers outside of the hatchery so that they can target the hatchery down, and then double expand after that and play defensively, and you can pretty much win the game from there because you'll have too much of an economic advantage for the Zerg to come back from. So yeah, I guess that's the end of this video. I know I was a bit thorough, or I was kind of over thorough, but I wanted it to be because I wanted to cover all of the points. I didn't want to just make a 5-minute video about this and explain maybe 1 or 2 things. And if you guys like these videos, then also remember to subscribe, and also follow me on Twitter, which the link will be below, where you guys can also get important updates and notifications about stuff like when I'm going to be streaming. I don't have a current schedule yet, so it's kind of hard to, I guess, like plan for it, so I kind of am just streaming spur of the moment, and I usually post on Twitter when I'm going to stream. And also check out all my other episodes. I've organized them into a Team Liquid thread, which can also be found on the bottom. And thanks for watching, guys. Have a